Got it. Thank you, Councillor Pasternak, for inviting me to join you this morning. I hear the fear in this room. I'm inspired also, though, by the community and the allyship here. Do know that you are never alone, and we are never alone. It's good to see people of all faith, all the faith leaders coming together for a common cause. It's good to hear the first-hand experience that we just heard about what's happening on our street. Just a few weeks ago, I was at the Holocaust Museum for the Holocaust Education Week. It was the second time visiting there. I was there when it first opened. It was a powerful reminder of our collective obligations to act when there's injustice. When our neighbors experience fear and biases and horrific experience based on history. So when we confront fear, when we confront hate, how do we respond? We have a choice. Do we respond with division? Do we respond with empathy and hope? Sometimes when there's when darkness around us, when it's tough times, we need to continue to reach for the light, continue to believe that there is goodness in each and every one of us. When we believe that, when we reach out, we can connect. When we believe that we can, even when people are full of anger and hate, if we believe there is hope, we are able to then connect with them. We need to continue to be welcoming and compassionate, even though it's close to impossible when times are so tough. We need to keep each other safe. It is our responsibility. It is when we do that, bring out the best of each of us. I know it's hard. With this dangerous rise of anti-Semitism in our city, families are worried about going to a place of worship, sending kids to school, hanging a mezuzah on their door, about just being in public, to be identified, or even just turning around the corner and see the graffiti, whether it's on TTC or on any other public streets, or being verbally, physically assaulted, attacked for being who you are. And that is not acceptable. You know, as your mayor, I've said in many occasions that any assault on the freedom of people practicing their faith is not welcome here. Violence in all its forms, even psychological violence, is not welcome here. Anti-Semitism is not welcome in this city, and I have repeatedly condemned it. Together with Deputy Mike Cole, Councillor Pasternak, all the councillors here, Councillor Bradford, that we've been working hard. Starting in October of last year, in November, where we passed a comprehensive package of policies. Can we do better to implement them? Yes, we can. Of course we can. No one is perfect, but we need to continue to do so. The police are saying that we don't have enough resources, which is why we appointed our budget chief, Shirley Carroll, on the Police Service Board. And for the first time in many years, the board have just approved, with Councillor Lily Chang, who's also on the board, a hiring plan that would have more police on the street. that they will have every school, recruitment school, 4 times a year, maximum number of recruits, 90 students recruiting, so that there will be an ongoing infuse of number of police on the street. That is what you've been saying, that is what you need. We heard you, because even just at different meetings, you said we need more protection, and that is what we're doing. And that 5-year staffing plan is our commitment. We've also heard it's not just the police, it's the bylaw enforcement officer protecting our neighborhoods, our businesses, our schools, our place of worship. We've heard the community clearly when they are expressing, and all of you expressing fear and worry, felt your anguish, a clear feeling of loss for the place where you once felt safe. Let's rebuild that faith together. It may be a leap of faith, but it needs to happen. It needs to be rebuilt. I heard it when I stood side by side with Rabbi Yoko Vedal to address the community at Beis Musha Elementary School, together with Councillor Pasternak, following the gunshots that was horrifically fired at the school. Councillor Cole was also there too, Deputy Mayor. I felt it when I spoke at the Pride of Israel Synagogue's evening of solidarity against hate, to support the community during the times of fear. But through it all, I've also seen so much hope. Even in this difficult time, I know that we can work to make real promise that calls to us from our city's coat of arms. That diversity is our strength. Those are not just words. Those are the pledges we make to each other, that I have made to you as your mayor. And this room right now is an excellent, beautiful example that we're hearing each other, that we are going to hold it tight, that we will work together as much as we can. I was there on Mel Osman Square, joining other councillors here last year. This year, I should have been there. There's no excuse. There's any number of problems on communication front. That is my office, my problem. Okay, I should have been there. I know. I apologized about, I don't know how many times, but enough times. I've said it publicly. In terms of action, I met with every principal of all the Jewish schools, including JCC, Mount JCC, with the chief. Was it a public meeting? No. We met just before the high holidays, just before the commemoration. And we talked about what the police and others can do. I've also met with CJA, United Jewish Appeal, and all the association and others. Were those meetings public? No, they were not. I met with the JCC, Mars Nadal. Was that meeting public? No. That's okay, because I cannot, in some of those instances, broadcast all the action, all the plan that the police are doing. Some things need to be confidential. Let me tell you, if you continue to not believe in me, how do we build a path forward? I am your mayor. Under the Police Act, no politician, whether I'm on the police service board, whether I'm mayor of Toronto or Councillor Pasternak, We have no power to direct the operation of the police. In fact, allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. That once I did something wrong, okay? I said to the police quite a few years ago, they should de-escalate on a completely separate incident. And for that, I violated the Police Act. I was told to leave the Police Service Board, okay? So no politician, even if you're a premier, can say to the police, you must do that, because that is what democracy is about. There's a strong division between those people that make the law. We could actually establish policy. We cannot say to the police, you arrest that person.
So are you saying
you don't want us to be able to do that, then you can go and arrest that person. You need to arrest that person. You don't want the police to take direction. The Police Service Board is 7 members. 3 of them are councillors. Councillor Li Chang is on the Police Service Board. It has a civilian chair. Her name is Ann Morgan. And 3 members are appointed by the provincial government. So the Police Service Board that hire and fire the police chief, that give policy direction to the police, there are 7 board members. Okay, I think it's important to know that, to understand that. So the Police Service Board established policies to the police chief. They hire or fire the police chief, and the police chief then make operation decisions as to whether they should or should not arrest someone. That's up to the chief. It's up to the police service. And the police board member, there are 4 members that are the combination of 7 board members. I think it's important to know that, because there is a conception of, maybe misconception, that the mayor of Toronto can dictate and order the chief what to do. But Councillor Pasternak, because it's your meeting, and so is Deputy Mayor Cole and Councillor Bradford, I think what I just said in the last 5 minutes is precisely the policy of the Ontario government. I think you need to acknowledge that, and I think you should be very clear that everything that I said was according to the law.
Yeah, no, we have been on that corner peacefully for a year, and about 4 weeks ago, mass protesters, masked, and there's a failure in the law right there, how they can run around chanting hateful chants, genocide to Jews, disparaging remarks calling for the destruction of Israel, taunting us across the street, waving swastikas. I mean, it is basically sick. And in many in our community feel our arms are tied, our hands are tied. We call the province, we call the Ministry of the Attorney General. They say go call your bylaw enforcement. We call bylaw, they say it's not safe. We call police, they say that's not true. We can make it safe for bylaw enforcement. And then there's a whole other ideology of hiding behind the charter. So we have a mess on our hands. And we're not getting help from the RCMP either. So there's the federal government. So it is a total institutional failure, I think, on how to manage the situation. And we have. Well, I mean, I don't want to tie up this whole room, but basically we need, it is extremely difficult to successfully prosecute a hate crime in this country. We should be going for statutory bylaw enforcement to create a new level of civility. And only by law enforcement can stop these hateful chants, the blockage of roads, the harassment of Jewish business owners, and of course, we need to give police the resources they need to prosecute those. And I would add that there's a failure in the judicial system as well. So this is and we have someone who's going to be talking in a minute about these issues. We can't solve it here, but I think you've heard the room loud and clear. We need a universal condemnation of this. This is not charter protected stuff. Waving swastikas and calling for the genocide of Jews. This is disgraceful. It's illegal, and yet we feel frustrated that the perpetrators are not brought to justice. And the conversation goes all the way up to Ottawa, through Queen's Park, down the municipal level. It's a systemic failure of society to grapple with this. So, do I have easy answers? I've given you a snapshot.
Can I add one more thing? I think that the city of Toronto actually does have a say when it comes to policing.
Mm-hmm.
We know you control the police funding. We know as well that you try to reduce the police funding. Police need accelerated resources, and that is one of the supports the city can especially espouse.
The city of Toronto this year provided every single dollar that they've asked for.
After a lot of lobbying.
And last police board, Councillor Chan, correct me if I'm wrong, the police service board approved a 5-year staffing plan that would enable 91, is maximum number of people hired per year. Okay, and that was just approved at the police service board. It's coming to the budget committee for approval.
After tremendous pressure, public pressure.
No, well, the
All right.
police service board, with the leadership of the City of Toronto budget chief, which I appointed, I do want you to know, just to be clear, that the City of Toronto, under my leadership, have Shirley Carroll, which is the budget chief, to be a member of the police service board to deal with their budget, okay? And under her leadership, first time in 8 years, because the numbers have actually not caught up. And what the chief has been saying and what the police service, what the association has been saying is true. The number of officers per population have dropped tremendously. Okay, but that was created in the last 5-6 years. And Deputy Mayor Cole knew that, okay? So it is because of Councillor Shirley Carroll and Lily Chang and other councillors there on the police service board that they approved a 5-year staffing plan, first time in a decade. Because it used to be that they would not hire anyone, and then they hire some. It was impossible for the chief to establish a working deployment. So I think it's important to know that. Since you raised it, I have to address it.
Okay, so I understand, Mayor Chow, you're going to sign the proclamation on the way out. I think that's the message I have here. Yeah, okay. And but we are barely halfway through the speakers.
Absolutely, just respectfully, I just want to say I appreciate that there's been a 5-year plan put in place. We don't have 5 years.
Yeah. No, they graduated. I just graduated. No, it's not a 5-year. I just yesterday, 2 days, last night, graduated 91 officers. It's the 3rd class, okay, of 160 officer was graduated last year, just 6 months ago. Another 160 was graduated, okay? And then 91 just graduated. So in total, you're looking at 300 plus officer that are now coming out on your street.
Thank you, Mayor.